Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another My Week in Perfume. Thank you guys so much for tuning into all these videos. Been loving reacting and interacting with all your comments. You guys have been just showing so much support. You guys seem to really like the weekly videos like this. So, one important thing though, let me know how everything looks in this video. Got a new camera, new lighting, all this sort of stuff. Been trying to dial it in. Before we get into the first fragrance I wore this week, if you have been enjoying, be sure to hit the like button and sub. Really just helps the channel out. I wore on Monday, last week, I guess, Portrait of a Lady by Dominic Ropion. This is a beloved perfume in the perfume community. Oh man. My bottle, for people that are interested, has this batch code right there, A24. Not sure what that works out to be. It's probably a 2024 bottle, but the batch code enjoyers, I know that's a big deal with this particular fragrance because of like reformulations and all that. However, I've been really happy with this bottle. Portrait of a Lady is basically a gigantically strong Ambroxan rose patchouli incense spicy fragrance. Um, got this really luscious velvety red rose with this really nice green earthy patchouli, and the incense sort of gives it this almost like a spiciness itself. Yeah, slightly resinous quality to it. Spicy in the top two. Just a beautiful wear. There is a lot of Ambroxan. It's a huge fragrance. Even, it's been reformulated. People claim the newer bottles are weaker than the older bottles. Trust me, new bottles are not weak. They're very, very strong. They last a long time. So Portrait of a Lady, I've had it in the collection for a long time. Great fragrance. I wore this. This is new. This is new in the rotation. This is a bit of a unique fragrance. This is Spoturno. This is never going to be able to focus. Spoturno 1921. The caps are made of glass, which I think is a really nice touch. That's really unique. You don't really see that very much. Spoturno is a really new brand, actually. I think the daughter of Coty or something. There's the owner of this brand is a family member of a very famous perfume house, basically Coty, Coty, and she established this brand with her in-house perfumer, which is Christopher Sheldrake. Christopher Sheldrake is one of my absolute favorite perfumers, so I had to check this brand out. And man, this fragrance is called L'Âme de Phenix. The brand is Spoturno. This is basically Dior Sauvage Elixir, but natural smelling and not obnoxiously nuclearly powerful, which is actually a good thing. So what do we get in this? This is an Oriental Fougere. So that means it's gonna be very spicy. There's cinnamon in this. Maybe I pick up like a clovey, woody sort of thing. Big lavender, tobacco. It's warm. It's spicy. It's sort of inviting. It's a little bit hot smelling, if that makes sense. But basically, it is. Imagine the smell of Dior Sauvage Elixir if you have experience with that, and just give it like a facelift times five. Um, these fragrances are very, very pricey. I'm still kind of pissed how much I paid for it, to be honest with you. Um, and the longevity on this isn't really great. Ooh, the light just died. Let's hope it comes back on. We'll keep rolling. I don't really know what happened with that. There it is. There it is. The longevity is not really that great. But I think that's because there just isn't a lot of like synthetic boosting compounds, at least to my nose, really like pushing the fragrance out there. Luca Turin did a write up on this, and also Persolaise did an interview with Christopher Sheldrake, who perfumed this, and they both have really interesting commentary and information. So Luca Turin said the fougere, that style of fragrance, no perfumer is ever asked to make a fougere fragrance cost no object. But it's interesting because the owner of Spoturno 1921 let the perfumer, Christopher Sheldrake, basically make an Oriental fougere cost no object. So You can really tell money went into this perfume. This is an expensive smelling, very high quality, natural Oriental fougere. The lavender is great. The spices feel real. Just doesn't last, at least on me, all that long. I maybe get about maybe about 4 or 5 hours. But when you have something that's at least perceived to be very natural, the longevity a lot of the time isn't actually going to be that great. So it's a great smell. I do wish it lasted a little bit longer. Same thing can be said for the next fragrance. This is fragrance by Malle Fusciuni. This is Notte di Viaggio number 2, Shukran. Okay, it's a hell of a name. I'm gonna have a hell of a time in post putting the name up on the screen. Um, oh my god, this is one of the most unbelievable mint fragrances, mint tobacco tea sort of thing. Shukran, I think means thank you in a particular language. I'm blanking out. I probably should have looked at this before I made the video, but I think it means thank you in a Moroccan, something like that. I don't know. Um, and this is basically like a mint tea. So it has the most beautiful, photorealistic, herbal green mint. Very cooling, very mentholated, very just true to what it's like you crushed mint in your hands and you smelled it. It's really photorealistic. It's very impressive. And then the tobacco gives it this sort of, at least to my nose, like an earthy quality. Then there's this nice calming tea in there. It's kind of a difficult one for me to pick apart, honestly, but um, this is one I wish lasted a little bit longer. But again, in my experience with perfume, you're not going to get that photorealistic natural quality and a lot of longevity. That's like almost unobtainium. So that's Malle Fusciuni Shukran Notte di Viaggio number 2. Really, really great. If you love mint, you have to try that. It's amazing. Next up is what a lot of people consider to be a discontinued gem, a fragrance that I sort of ignored for the longest time. And my only fragrance from this particular house, this is YSL or Yves Saint Laurent Rive Gauche pour Homme. This is the eau de toilette. There's an eau de toilette intense, and then I think there's an eau de toilette light. What do you think about the bottle, by the way? These are some of the weirdest bottles I've ever encountered. This is like paper thin sheet metal. You look at that. Basically like stamped aluminum or whatever. These dent very easily. So I was very lucky to find a bottle that isn't dented. This is a beautiful fougere fragrance. It's this sort of clean, airy, lavender, soapy, shaving foam thing with a beautiful light, sort of almost like a ghost of patchouli. It's not very earthy. It definitely is like a transparent, earthy patchouli in the base. Very clean, very inoffensive, very but still elegant. And I don't know what they did with this fragrance. I've only worn it once. I just got it recently. Even though it's light and airy and beautiful, uh, this lasts a long time. I don't know what's in this fragrance. It is discontinued for a reason. I wonder if it was because of like IFRA regulations or ingredient regulations or something. Because whatever's in this is really it's giving it deceptively long longevity to where like you spray it and you go, oh, this will give me like 3 hours, and it just pretty much keeps going for quite a while. But yeah, I'm getting to know it. As far as I'm concerned, this is a great, great fougere fragrance. It kind of reminds me of stuff like Les Abstrait Philosopher's Walk, which was a 2025 release. It's that same sort of powdery, airy, light, inoffensive fougere style, barbershop style, um, which are two different things. I have to really stop mixing them up. But still getting to know that one. Now, next is true, true barbershop fragrance. And this has been an absolute revelation for me. This is fucking awesome, just to put it lightly. Oh my god. This is MDCI, Invasion Barbare. This is outstanding. Outstanding. Like, oh my god, what a smell. Um, Invasion Barbare, another recent pickup. I've been sleeping on it for way too long. I'm so happy to have a bottle now. It's a barbershop fragrance, but it's a very particularly well done barbershop fragrance. So in the top, you have this very particular violet leaf note. And violet leaf, if you don't know what it smells like, it has this ozonic, watery, crisp, almost bitter smell. Kind of smells like bitter purple, which might make sense to you and it might not. You're gonna have to smell violet leaf for that. If you don't know what it smells like, try to smell Dior Fahrenheit is a good violet leaf you can smell. Um, but yeah, it has that violet leaf in the open, so it's a little bit crisp, it's a little bit bitter, has that ozonic thing. But that doesn't last for too long. Then it goes into the thickest, the densest, the richest, lavendery, spicy shaving foam you've ever smelled. And it is just absolutely mesmerizing. I could smell this just forever. Um, And again, I've only worn this once. I just got this recently, so I'm still getting to know it. But oh my god, I've been spraying that on strip and just to smell it, putting it on my hand while I'm editing videos just to smell it. Um, Outstanding barbershop fragrance. It's pricey, but dude, I would be willing to say if you can find that at a good deal, it's awesome. It's fantastic. Next up, the first Amouage in this week, actually the only Amouage this week I wore. This is not really a celebrated Amouage, I don't think. This is Amouage Dia Man. Beautiful, like bronze copper bottle. Dia is a very strange Amouage because it doesn't really smell like an Amouage, but it so is. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe if you're into Amouage, you know what I mean. I think Mo from Sense for Thoughts, his channel will be linked in the description, calls this a guerlain in an Amouage's bottle. And I totally get what he means because this smells French. Very, very French. And this is understated. This is put together. This is elegant. This is sort of that quiet confidence thing. It's never loud. It's never overbearing. Um, has this beautiful, rounded, sort of slightly earthy vetiver with this very beautiful floral nuance. I think the florals in here are very well judged. The main floral, I think, is actually peony, which is not a note you see pretty much at all. Then it has this sort of clean incense vibe. There really isn't anything like. There really isn't anything that is sticking out of this fragrance, and that's what's so beautiful about it because there are no like jagged edges, nothing sticking out of it. And you can spray this like 50 times and it will never go past your like personal bubble, even on clothes, which can, project a fragrance a little bit more. So if you're looking for like a work fragrance and you want something really high quality but that's also really unique, I would check out Amouage Dia. You can find this for, I don't know, maybe about you found a good deal, probably about 180 for 100 ml. And the last fragrance I wore this week is actually a fragrance I featured in, I believe, the first episode of my week in perfume. So this is entering the rotation again. This is Les Indemodables Ambre Supreme. This is a crazy fragrance because, first of all, it's 5% ambergris tincture. And if you don't know what ambergris is, I think ambergris is essentially like, I think it's whale vomit. It sounds weird, but it's been used in perfumery for, I think, over like hundreds of years at this point. Um, got this very particular salty marine aquatic thing about it, but it's never like synthetically marine, like cologne or anything like that. Um, this is herbal. This is like your skin, but better. It kind of smells, and like my friend Daniel said, kind of smells like you've been at the beach sweating, like in the sun, in the water, and that's what your skin smells like after you've done that all day. I definitely understand exactly what it means by that. It also has these beautiful aldehydes in the opening, which makes it sparkle. It's very clean in the opening. Um, and yeah, that is another one that I'm really starting to get to love, get to know. I spray a ton of it on, and it just has this beautiful airy quality. Really awesome. So that has been my week in perfume. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you wore this week. If you have a scent of the day, drop that in the comment section. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more videos. I have a ton of videos coming up, individual perfume reviews. I have unboxings coming up, big Serge Lutens ranking, Amouage, all that. So yeah, exciting things coming to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.